Hi, this is Dr. Taz, and welcome to Talk with Taz Live. I am so excited to be with you today. We're going to be in for a treat. We're going to have Felicia Brookins, who is the playwright for the Brownie and Unforgettable Trip, along with several of her cast members today. Hi, I'm just waving at people, guys. Hi, Cyrus. And, I started talking with Felicia earlier this year about her journey. And so I'm so pleased that now we've come full circle and she has premiered her um, her play. And so we're excited to hear just how things went. So hopefully they'll be popping on in just a moment. I see I've got Cyrus here with me. Hi, Cyrus. Jesus Black Man, hello. For those of you who don't know Felicia Brookins, she's an award-winning author, and I just happen to have several of her books here with me. Several of her books here with me that I'm going to be showing during the interview. See who else is trying to join us here. All righty. Got Stephen coming in.
Hi, Teresa.
Hey, Felicia, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. I think I'm bringing in Stephen. Hi, George.
Yes, Stephen.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you. You may have to change that again because I done got Stephen in my brain, so you may have to
I
keep
know,
telling me,
trust.
it's
I went through
Stephen.
that. Hey,
So
Cyrus. My
he's not
favorite
gonna have any problem
Amazon
telling us
personality.
how to pronounce his name. Let
Oh,
me see
yeah.
what Stephanie is here. Okay. Thought I had brought him in, but I guess I didn't. Okay. Here he comes. He should pop it on in just a moment.
Stephen Brandon turned on his video. That's great.
Oh, wait, don't you start with me. I'm
Well,
sorry.
y'all
I'm not in
already
character
got
right now.
started.
I'm not in character. I'm sorry.
Anyway, we're not going to do this in front of these people today. Get
Uh,
on video.
Nadine.
Not in front of these people. Not today.
They have already got started, guys. I'm telling you
No, 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 no.
honestly.
We're going to behave today.
I behave
Well,
every day, darling.
I don't know if this crew can behave. I've been Steph, I've been at this for a while with this crew, so I don't know if y'all can behave. But at least you do play a character that's got a good heart.
I do.
So maybe you'll behave, but I can't. We got is Mama Ruth still gonna be with us, Felicia?
Mama Ruth should be coming on. Maybe she's
Well,
baking or making
well,
some fabulous meal. Why? No, y'all not.
well, you know how that family is, so I can't hold up the ship for them, even though they think that I can, because we know that family, and even though I don't want to be on Mama Ruth's bad side either, you know. But
You see, our casting director, Miss Lavita Davis, is saying we cannot. Our casting and stage director, she said we cannot act. We can't behave. But
well, I thought that y'all had whipped everything into shape and y'all were behaving, but
mm,
I see
it's
that that's
Kenny.
not the case.
Yes, it's Kenny.
It's Kenny. Okay. Well, now, guys, this is the way it is off camera, but you guys got a chance to experience it on camera. So, welcome to this live edition of Talk with TAS Live. And today I have with me Felicia Brookins, who is an award-winning author and playwright who has directed her first, excuse me, excuse me, but that's not even what I was getting ready to say. So I think what I was about to say may be the truth. I'm gonna put it out there because you put it out there, it become a reality. I was about to say your first screenplay, yeah, not stage play, but the screen.
We'll take
Um,
that. We'll take it. I'll take it.
yeah, that's what I was about to say for some reason because I know we're talking about a gospel play, but
Yeah.
Scream was coming out. But guys, it's a gospel play. It's her second one. And Felicia and I have been loving on the Brownie and Unforgettable Trip for about 6 months, probably. And we've got Stephen, who is playing Kenny Simmons, a good
Mama
man.
Ruth is here. I
Mama
requested.
Ruth
This is
here.
Mama
Well,
Ruth.
well, I gotta wait until I get Mama Ruth up here before I make this statement about
Yes, please,
Kenny.
please get
Okay,
Mama
okay,
Ruth in the room so we can keep
okay,
Nadine under control.
okay, okay. Well,
Because Mama Ruth love me.
well, she's
That's
gonna love what
because
I'm getting ready to say then.
that's because she doesn't have to put up with your wicked ways, Kenny.
Mm.
I'm
You my
Well,
sorry.
husband, not hers.
How you
well,
doing,
if you
girl?
saw the end of the play, Nadine, we see who had wicked ways and where that landed you.
It was
Oh
just a
yeah.
misunderstanding. We're gonna get it all straight. Don't worry about that.
Oh
It's
my
the little
God.
things.
You worry about your business and your soul. Don't worry about mine. Now let's do this interview.
Well, guys, you heard it here. You see how they run it. And this is the way they are in their real life. And so you guys get a chance to see these characters and what they're really like. So, as I was about to say, Savannah, he's a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. He's a good man. So, Mama Ruth, he's a good man.
He's a
He
good
is a
man.
good man. I
He's
know
good at
Kenny's a good
deceiving
man.
y'all.
He's a good man,
I
Nadine.
don't
He's a
even
good
see
man.
him on this screen. Where'd he go? He probably went to get a Budweiser. Where is he?
He he
Kenny,
he
put the
ain't going
can
nowhere.
down. Put the can down.
Now, let's don't talk about him having a Budweiser. It's okay every now and then to have a Budweiser. He's
Every
a
now
good
and then.
man, Savannah. And
Listen, if
Nadine,
y'all had to deal with Nadine the way I had to deal with Nadine, you would understand why and be grateful that it's only Budweiser.
well, now wait a minute now, guys. Now, y'all tell me too, but let's just get the audience up with us because, see, they don't know what's going on,
Okay,
okay?
we
So let's
sorry.
bring them in so
We
they
sorry.
understand what we're talking about.
Okay.
So, we've got Stephen Brandon, who plays Kenny Simmons, and we've got Sonya Valentine, who plays Mama Ruth. Now, we've been skirting around talking about this play, The Brownie, An Unforgettable Trip. So, Felicia, our playwright, award winning. Now, this play, as they can see, it explores quite a few things about life and spirituality and Judgment Day. What inspired you to create The Brownie, An Unforgettable Trip?
Well, first of all, I love fiction. So when it's fiction, you can twist and turn it any way you like.
Mhm.
Also, I was inspired by my very first book, which was Sister Nadine's Ways, which is the story of the church, the head church usher, yes, and her slight disposition when it comes to her spiritual walk and with her family and her
Mhm.
challenges that she faces. And so that inspired me to write the production, to write the stage play, because I wanted to introduce Nadine to the public and to the world in different ways and through different mediums. And I thought that stage play would be an entertaining and interesting way to introduce people to the head usher at Greater Trials Missionary Baptist Church.
Well, it certainly has been interesting to learn about Nadine and the people at Greater Trials Missionary Baptist Church. Um, Stephen, could you share a bit
Yes.
more about your character in the play and how you connect with his story, if you connect with his story?
Actually, I connected to this story a little more than I had expected to when Felicia and I had the initial conversation. She actually brought me on as well, originally I was an understudy, but then after we had some conversations and we talked about some things, I agreed to come on as the assistant director. And so as things began to process, we had to make some casting decisions. And so as a part of those casting decisions, then I agreed. Well, actually, I can honestly say I strong armed my way into the position of Kenny.
I wasn't going to say anything
I can
because I'm a
I can
lady.
be honest. I can be honest. I strong armed my way into the position of Kenny. But the reason why I'm so connected to this character is because I am officially a girl dad. I have 5 daughters.
5.
Yes, 5. And so shining moment. One of my actual daughters plays my daughter in the play.
Yes.
So that
Congratulations.
was fun. That was fun. But the thing that really connected me on a personal note with the character is because when I read the storyline and when we followed the story, some of the struggles that went on in the Simmons household were some of the struggles that I dealt with in a real way. One of which was having a daughter who was dealing with some struggles. That's what I'm gonna say because I don't want to expose my baby out there like
Mhm,
that.
mhm, mhm.
But dealing with some struggles, and so when we got into playing the character, a lot of the subtle nuances that came along with playing Kenny Simmons came relatively natural because I think Felicia owes me some royalties because I think she took some of this from my real life. But we'll talk about that off screen.
Right.
That's an off-screen, Kenny, because I've already said
Yeah,
you're a good man. Now, don't come in. You done
yes,
already
yes.
stronghold your way into being in the past. Now you're trying to
Well,
get some of the
but now,
proceeds.
but let me say now, the reason why I strong armed my way in was because the person who was originally cast for the role wasn't participating. And so in my conversation with Felicia, I was telling her we're running out of time and I can play this character. And so that's how I strong armed. It wasn't that I was just trying to be seen because anybody who knows me knows I have no problem being behind the stage. I'm comfortable behind the stage, but I knew what we were up against.
And I'm just playing with you now, Kenny. I understand that what you did, you saw there was a need, and
Mhm,
as an understudy, and then becoming assistant director, you just wanted to help fulfill that need so that the play could take place as it
Absolutely.
was able
right.
to. And we're so very
A-
grateful and thankful for you. And also, I think it's very interesting how God will align steps. You, the father of 5 girls, and one of your daughters has had some challenges that
Trinity.
sort of align to one of the daughter in the play. And I think that you're being able to bring that authenticness to that character was a part of the path all along. But I don't know yet because I haven't seen it, so I don't know. But let me slip over here to Sonya. Now, Sonya, tell the audience a little bit about your character because we were talking about you before you could even get on. Your son-in-law was just, oh, you just love him. Tell the audience a little bit about your
Hmm.
character.
I love my son-in-law.
Yeah.
and I love you too, Mama.
Snakes.
Well, my character is Mama Ruth, and I'm Nadine's mother. And as the storyline would have it, as she wrote it, it was some generational type things that I passed down or whatever, and that she kind of picked up. And but in the end, I was trying to actually save her
Bless
from being like so much like me, knowing that I had done those things, generationally passed some of those things down.
Mhm.
So that's my character, and that's kind of the gist of my what I was trying to do with the play. And of course, I was trying to save her marriage to my son Kenny,
Mm.
and I was trying also to save my granddaughters.
you. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now, Miss Beth, it's so nice. I can see that you've come a long ways. So you're able to publicly say now that you see how your life impacted Nadine and then impacted your granddaughter, and you've been trying to make amends, trying to kind of correct what has taken place. And I think that's something that we don't want to lose sight of as we're talking, because I often think about the sins of the fathers are visited on the offspring. But also, I look at that as the generational curses, because we're never able to deal with what occurred with one person in the family. We keep it secret and it just perpetuates itself. So I want to applaud you for, in this play, trying to right a wrong that you realized that you had perpetrated.
Absolutely,
Now,
she wrote that.
wrote that.
Felicia did a really good job, bringing that in and showing that as well. Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely. Yes.
Um, Now, Felicia, now that kind of just leads into the play tackles a lot of different things. Um, and I know that the play had a disclaimer that some of the things that would be talked about may be triggers. So we had a trigger disclaimer. So I
Yes.
know we're talking about trauma, we're talking about abuse. We're also talking about, I don't know if I can say this. We're talking about, I'm going to do what my mama would say, and then y'all going to have to figure it out. People getting out their place.
Oh,
And that's why my
oh,
mother said, when people get out their place, they need to learn to stay in their place. That could be a
You
lot
hear
of
what
things.
she you hear what she said, Nadine? Learn to stay in their place.
Kenny, I'd advise you to close your trap before
Kitty,
you cause me to put my religion down. I had a good service today. Was filled with the Holy Ghost. Don't you come on this video interview tonight trying to make me lay my religion down.
please, Kenny,
You
down.
sat
You know she
down
did.
somewhere. You should have
Kenny,
been at church with me today, but you
Go
weren't.
go get you some Kool-Aid, Kenny.
That's what I need.
yeah,
You need
I need
Jesus.
me
I told you that before.
I need me some Kool-Aid.
Anyway, Miss Teresa, go right ahead. He can be a bit rude sometimes.
yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Now, Kenny, please, you know how Nadine is, and I don't want her to embarrass you any further on this live, because you know how she'll get. So please don't do anything else to get her riled up. Now, Felicia, like I said, we talk about a lot of different themes in the play and in the
Yeah.
book. What message or theme did you want, or did you hope that the audience would take away from the storyline?
The overall message that I wanted everyone to get from this, there were two. First of all, don't be so quick to judge someone else. Don't be so quick to determine in your mind and heart where you think they're going to spend eternity, because
Mm-hmm,
you are not God and you don't know. You need to focus on yourself. Number
mm-hmm,
two, I wanted everybody to understand that God chooses who he wants to choose. It's not up to us to decide, again, who's going to enter and who's not. And he has mercy and grace for everybody. Everybody's at a different stage, but you don't know their walk. It's important that you not try to look at someone's life and say, with a period at the end of it, this person is going to hell. This person will never change.
mm-hmm,
Who are you to make that decision? And like with our character Amber, who's also on here under that boss's bona fide. Amber was a perfect example. They looked at Amber and said, Amber's in a strip club. She's shaking her booty for money. She doing something strange for change. And they did pretty much even said, "What's up, child?" She done sold her soul, slide down a
mm-hmm,
pole. But
mm-hmm,
you don't know Amber's life and her walk and her journey and her run to get where she needed to be. And so in the end, hey, it was a surprise. As my first lady said today in church, it was a plot twist.
Well, God is a plot twist. Now we're gonna have to find
That's
out something
right.
before this is over. Um, Lasagna, did portraying Mama Ruth and exploring the themes that that Felicia have talked about, how did that impact your personal beliefs or your perspective about Judgment Day and how we interact with people here on earth and not being judgmental as it relates to their walk with their faith walk? Well, God, Felicia, quit laughing on there.
again, like I don't know, I don't know. A lot of people don't know that I'm a PK, so I'm a preacher's kid. So I grew up in church, and all of that, with all of that going on, and so I totally grasped and understood the how people can be judgmental in the church, and all these people that's up every Sunday, that's got their hands in everything, and they the head usher and the chief deacon, and all these kind of things, and everybody think they're so holier than thou, and they look up to them like that. And to be honest, and transparent here, those are some of the main ones who don't have that prayer life that they should have, and they don't have that relationship, with God. I will say, if I can say God here, with God, like we think they do, and so we just have to be mindful of that or whatever. And like as she was saying, some of the ones in the church who sit on the back pew and do nothing. We look at them like, oh, they maybe they ain't got nothing going on, or they don't know Christ, or they don't pray, and they don't this and that. And those are some of the main ones who have those strong, relationships with God and stuff like that. So, I've seen that firsthand as a preacher's kid. And so I know how that rolls out in the church, and how it trickles down as well through generations and things like that.
Being a preacher's kid, the idea of church hurt, is a real thing. And I don't, we cover so much in the play, guys, but this idea of church hurt, like you said, I'm on the back pew. So, I slid down the pole Saturday night and did a little something strange for some change. So how can we embrace those individuals? Because that still may not be their narrative. It may be that I don't have the clothes to wear to church, so I come in a little late so I can sit on the back pew and I can skirt out before the people start leaving, and seeing that I'm not dressed, quote unquote, the way that they think I should be dressed. I mean, how do we begin to maybe stretch out an olive branch as people of faith to those individuals who are in the back of the church and who are feeling hurt?
Can I respond to that?
Yes, sir.
So I was also a PK.
Okay.
And to add another layer, I'm actually a minister. And so I deal with this on different levels at different stages. The scripture says, if you see your brother overtaken in a fault, it says, you which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness. This is the important word, considering yourself. And a lot of times what happens to us when we get saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Ghost, we learn 2 or 3 scriptures and we speak in a tongue, then we feel like we got it. But we forget that somebody had to come and take us by the hand. And somebody had to come and say, hey, young man, young lady, you're going about this the wrong way. And so before and the position that I take is, I don't have a heaven or a hell to put anybody in. And so even when I'm talking to specifically younger individuals, I tell them, you can come and talk to me about anything, because you can't. I promise you, I would shock you before you shock me if we started trading stories.
Yeah.
And so when we as believers get real and we take off the facade of church and we get real with who we are and who God is to us and what God has done for us, then it's through our testimonies that we are able to win those. But we don't want people to know where we come from. We don't want people to know where we've been. And so because we don't want people to know what we've been through, then we don't talk about it. And so that's where their judgment comes from. Because, well, I'm not going to tell you that while Amber was in the club, I was at the club supporting Amber. I'm not gonna
Right.
tell you. One of the characters in the play was Bruh Baller,
Mm-hmm.
and Bruh Baller was he 20% tither. Bruh
Yes, sir.
Baller was making good money, but Bruh Baller was at the strip club
On the front row.
on the front row, and so but those are
Making
the
it
things. But
rain.
nobody wants to talk about Bruh Baller in the strip club,
Mm-hmm.
but they want to
Right.
talk about Amber in the strip club.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Double standard.
Right. And they
Yeah.
and they even had, even in the strip club, even there, God was reaching out to her to talk to her, even there. But people who think they already got it together could never imagine that. Even with
Right,
the security guard played by Skip Diamond, and he's on now, he was trying to talk to her and tell her, you need to listen to what your grandmother told you, what she taught you about God, letting her know you are still worthy, to go to him and to be delivered and saved and to live a good life like she thinks Nadine is. She says in the
right.
play, if Nadine can't get in, I can't get in. But even the security guard who works there is saying, you need to get out of here. You need to get out of here now. So
Mm-hmm.
we just seem to forget that people that are in bad situations, or what we see as bad situations, we've been there too. And sometimes we forget that.
And
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it was the
Go.
prayer, and it was the prayer that Amber prayed in the strip club.
Right,
It wasn't her coming down to the altar in the church.
right,
It was the prayer that she prayed in the strip club that
Yeah.
secured her spot in heaven.
right.
That was so good.
Which
That
And
was
lets
so
you know it can be done anywhere. It can be
anywhere.
done anywhere.
Yes.
I'm trying to look at a few of these comments here. Um, and of course, I'm just moving them around. But someone said, yes, Sonya Jaratu said, as a PK, I agree. And then Gold Digger Pam said, you're so right. Everyone has a chapter in their life story they don't want read aloud. But it's the reading aloud that humanizes us. And then other people feel like they can then make it. But you're right, we don't want it read aloud. But,
Right.
we know that there's something going on. A few
And Tanja
chapters.
plays First Lady Craig in the
Oh,
play. My soror Tanja Murphy. She plays First Lady. So she got
that
a few
she was.
few things going on with Nadine too, which again
Yeah.
shows you the real dynamics that can go on in a church between a usher that's in love or enamored with her pastor and the First Lady.
Oh,
Hmm.
yes. And First Lady Craig, she bless her sweet soul. She didn't go on the trip, I don't believe, but I know she was. She's gone through a lot, and I can't say she's gonna make it in, but I know she's gone through a lot.
First
Somebody
lady
said,
gonna
"Oh,
make it. First
well,
lady gonna make
you
it.
can say that, Ken, because I
Oh,
can't be giving that no way." But yeah, she probably gonna make her. She done been put through a whole lot between Nadine and all those different women. But
Yes.
but now let me ask this too.
it's
Um,
a music. It's
oh,
a
it
music.
is.
I'm sorry, that's me.
Oh,
So while I'm doing this podcast, I'm actually producing another podcast. So I had to step away to do
oh,
this.
okay.
So I'm
Okay.
sorry. It may be a little bit louder. Hold
Yeah,
on.
it's
Let
a
me
little
see if I
loud.
can.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
just the funny thing, one of the people featured on the podcast that I'm doing right now is our very own Katia, and is here.
Our
So that's
songbird. She plays
yes.
Anne.
So
Songbird.
that's probably who you hear singing. So listen, let
Katia
me
Madison.
let me try to shift some things. So I'm gonna mute
Okay.
myself for a second, and I'm gonna be back.
Okay. And Tony was talking about how Mama Ruth was amazing. And Songbird, I interviewed her earlier this year, I believe, Felicia. So she's our young girl. Spirits that ain't holy is what Tanya was saying. That boss says that good Kool-Aid. Don't know what the good Kool-Aid is. Nah, nah, nah. Because
She's
Kool-Aid is
talking
some
about that
sugar or
beer.
artificial sweetener, you
That's
know.
Amber.
I
Amber,
mean,
baby.
come now. I say that love, okay. But Felicia and the cast members that are here and those that I've interviewed previously, there were some challenges you faced in bringing this spiritually profound narrative to the stage. Um, what inspired you throughout all of that was happening in the background? Because there's always some stuff going on in the background, guys. What inspired you to keep going?
Well, it was a number of things. First of all, I would say God never told me to walk away from this. He never told me to just put it down, Felicia. I didn't tell you to do this. Don't do this. I also strongly believe that it had to be a powerful message for so much to come against it and for so much to happen. So that right there told me this is
Mm-hmm.
powerful. And all these things are in the way to try to stop you, from going forth. And so if I wasn't where I am in my spiritual walk and growth, though I'm far from perfect, but if I wasn't where I was, I would have walked away from it, you know. And secondly, there were individuals that were encouraging, that gave their word and kept their word. And I'm so appreciative for the cast members, for all of them, but especially for the ones, just imagine, that went through this with me a whole year and a half.
Yeah.
Individuals like Sonya, that went through this a whole year and they stayed. So that tells me they believed in what I was doing also, and that meant a lot to me. And then once God put in position in place everybody He wanted instead of who I wanted, and when He showed me the people that shouldn't be there that I didn't see at first, then this came to life December the 2nd at 1 p.m. at the Alamo Theater.
And
Hey man,
Felicia,
that shit
I
ain't
didn't
allowed
walk.
tonight.
Say that again, Sonya.
That shit ain't allowed tonight.
Oh,
This
oh,
cowboy night.
Oh,
now
well,
we
that might
talking
have been
about
the
something.
security guard in the strip club that just said that. Skip, you at work? That
But
sounds like the security guard at the strip club. Something going on.
something going on. But
Oh, we good.
are we good? Okay, okay now. Okay, Stephen. But Felicia, I didn't walk with you the 12 months, but I probably walked with you. I'm gonna say eight,
About 8?
8, 9 months.
Yes.
And when the play took place, and I get so confused with time. That was last
It was
Sunday.
Saturday. Yeah,
Saturday.
last Saturday at 1
Yes,
o'clock. And you've been there with me through the stop and start. And I have to send you the message and say, Teresa, it's not happening.
and guys, I'm being very transparent. It's hurtful, and I can say it because I wasn't an actor. I'm a sideline person that's been helping to promote this play, but it was hurtful when things would happen and we weren't able to move forward. And there were many times that we rescheduled, and then something else would happen. But I'm always reminded of the song "God, Order My Steps." And, he's always ordering our steps, and we don't really realize it because we're going through the mess at that time. And, sometimes it's like, can I keep my humanness under control so that my
Mhm.
spiritualness can stay connected to him? But it's a struggle. And I'm real about that. It's a struggle. And then, after some months, because, Felicia and I be messaging back and forth, after some months to see the traction. And then I looked up and it's like, it's time. And then I looked up, it was over. And I saw the pictures. When I saw the crowd of people in the audience. Because guys, I'm in North Carolina, they in Mississippi. And I saw
Mm.
that crowd. And then I've seen several pictures, and I'm like, it's almost as if the auditorium was packed. And I'm not
Just
exaggerating,
about.
guys. I don't know how many, I don't know what the capacity is, but it wasn't that many empty seats. And to see that the audience had hung in there too. We moved,
Yeah.
we had to change locations that we were having it, just so many different things. And then to see
Yeah.
that, and it was like, she did it. He did it.
Yeah. He
If
did
you
it.
keep your hand in his hand, he will
Ooh,
lead the way.
he
And
did
he
it.
did. And I'm just so happy for you, Felicia, personally. I'm happy for the cast who've been with us or been with her the whole 12 months, and those who've been with me for 8, 9 months, however long it's been. I'm happy for those who came in during the process and stuck with the process, and
Yeah.
happy that you were able to cross your finish line too, because this
Yeah.
play was anointed. It was anointed. And I know the message, and I've read both of her books, audience. I've read both books. And I know what the play was about. And no, I didn't see the ending, but I know, because I know these people. I know these people, and you know these people. So I know how it ended. But just to see that momentum pick back up and everybody cross the finish line.
Yes. Yes.
Um, to God be the glory.
Yes.
Yes.
Felicia,
Yes.
what are some of the things that the audience members have said that stayed with you and were there to see the play last Saturday?
So many have said, we knew we came to see a play, but wow, we weren't expecting this. I related to what I saw on the stage. It made me laugh. It made me cry. It was just amazing. It was phenomenal. It was great. It spoke to me, things like that. It's been all great positive feedback about the production and the cast members, and the message of the production has been so full of hope, so full of, I think, transparency for many. It's caused some people, from what I can tell with some of the reviews, to just step back, and they would say check themselves, take a look at themselves. The scene with Anne cutting herself, trying to kill herself. I heard a lot from people about that scene and how that touched them and how it even made them cry. Some young lady at church today even said that was so incredible to me that you had social workers there. And our cast member Pat Smith, she plays Sister Wright. She's the domestic violence abuse victim, and she's the one that, during one of our conversations, brought that up and made me realize the importance of having them there, because it could be a trigger for someone. But it was just so much that I've heard of, basically how it really touched people emotionally and mentally, and it made them think about their relationship, with God, and it made them question how they act, and what they think. And someone said friends went, and oh my God, praise God
Mhm.
for it. I'm telling you, is no doubt it's some powerful testimonies coming from this because of the test that we all went through to get here.
Absolutely. I think this cast will be connected for life. I agree, Bernice. No, that's not me, Diamond, is saying that. I don't know what part she's saying that about. God's plan, April said, yes, an unforgettable group. Tanya said, back, that's that, boss. T. Green said, his divine plan always exceeds ours. Absolutely. We couldn't
Amen.
imagine what he can do. George Housemore said, that's the favor of God. Absolutely, George.
That's Brother
Brother
And
Baller.
Baller.
that's, oh,
Bruh
yes, yes,
Baller.
Baller,
yes. Yes,
baller.
yes, yes. Thank you for showing up too, Bro Baller, because, we've been on before. So, and then I think I got one more. T-Bus said she missed the play, read the books. My friends went, and oh my God. But you're showing up for them, for her tonight and the cats tonight. So
Yes.
thank you for that. And again, the books are like, oh my God, like she said, because they're good. Um, Sonya, on the
Yes.
same vein, any memorable responses or discussions that stood out to you from audience members that you've heard over the past week? Any
Yeah,
comments?
I mean, I the feedback that I've got from the people that were there was, it really touched them or whatever in a way. Again, it made them think about their walk and
Mhm.
where they are in their lives and with God and things like that. Also had a person who she I was as I was headed out of the theater, she was coming down and she said, wait a minute. She said, I gotta get a hug from you. I gotta get a hug from you. She said, Holy Spirit, activate. She said, "Oh my God!" She said that was like my favorite part or whatever. She said, "You are incredible or whatever," and everybody was incredible. But that was so funny to me, and it was good. It was good, or whatever. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's all I've been getting is positive feedback. A couple of people have already asked me, "Are we going to do it again?" And I'm like, I ain't Felicia, but yeah. We gonna do it again.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna put a semicolon right there.
Uh,
Stefan, I'm asking you the same thing. Any memorable responses or discussions that folks have had with you after the play?
So I've had several discussions. One of the discussions that I've had, and this is kind of a plot twist, I guess, because not only did I play Kenny,
yeah.
but I also played Deacon Wright,
Yes.
and I
The
also
abuser.
played Right. So I was abused at home as Kenny, and then I was the abuser as Deacon Wright.
Yes.
Ooh, Jesus.
And then I also played
Praise
God.
God. Yes.
No, you didn't.
He went full
I
circle,
did.
Teresa. He
You
went
said you were
full
Kenny.
circle.
Both of those
And
Yes.
men, and then
so
you play God.
right, right. And so one of the biggest one of the biggest questions that I've gotten was I've had people asking me, how could you keep these characters separate? And
Huh.
not only keeping them separate, but
But played him
actually
so well.
presenting two different characters with two completely different personalities.
Yes.
And aside from the fact that, I mean, it's obvious that it was me because I couldn't really change my overall look, but the two characters were completely different. Um, but as far as the feedback, in addition to that, my mom was there,
Yes.
and my mom, my
Oh,
mom,
she heard me say mammy, didn't she? Oh my God.
listen.
Tell Miss Brandon, I'm sorry. It wasn't personal.
Well, the interesting thing is, as Deacon Wright, my mom had to watch me be a person that she never raised me to be. Like,
Right.
I know you lying on this stage, acting like I know you not.
Yeah.
Right.
But 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 the reviews from my mom it was amazing.
Thank
And
you.
even my mom said it made me think about some things.
Oh,
And
you know,
so, you know, that was, and then my mom's best friend was there, who is one of Felicia Soror's. Um, and I've not gotten the direct review from her, but from her and my mom's conversation, she absolutely loved it. I had some other friends who were there who loved it. I mean, we've gotten rave reviews. Um, now, you know, and when it comes to are we gonna do it again? I would love to do it again, but I can't do all three characters again.
Right.
I can't. I can't do it. I can't do. I can't.
You
And
can't do it.
the reason why, and
It's
it
a
was the
lot.
grace of God that we pulled it off the way we did.
Yes.
But when we
Yes.
got done, I was
Exhausted.
exhausted.
you worn out.
Yes.
It was, and so yeah. But I have like the reviews were stellar. They
What's
were stellar.
Stefan?
But I can say this part. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, and I was going to say this part right before we hit the stage, when I was doing the pre-show pep talk. The one thing that I said to Felicia was, I said, Felicia, I'm proud of you, and the reason why I am so proud of you is because you finished
Yep.
beyond all of the opposition and beyond all of the last minute changes and the long term changes and the short term changes and this didn't happen and this didn't happen and this didn't work and this didn't work and these people saying this and these people saying that and all of that. At the end of the day, you finished. And so
That's
that in itself is an accomplishment. Is that you finished.
exactly.
You know.
And we've got a comment from that boss that said we even had other previous cast members in the audience that were in awe. And these individuals, if they had practiced, they knew what was going to happen. But then for them to say they sat in the audience
Right.
and saw the production, that speaks to the powerfulness of it and the powerfulness of the message, which leads me to my next question. This is for all of you guys. Having participated in the Brownie and Unforgettable Trip, how has it influenced your outlook on life or spirituality significantly? And if it has, can you be willing to share how the play has impacted your own spirituality? Because I heard you just say, Stephanie, your mom's like, there's some things that she gonna now go and look at as far as herself after seeing the play. Did any of you have an
Absolutely.
aha moment too?
I mean, it definitely puts you in a mind of self-reflection
Mm-hmm.
because when you consider the outward expressions that everybody gave, but then when it came to the judgment, you didn't
Mm.
make it.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So then it makes you reevaluate the things that really are important and the things that we really focus on.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the resounding messages from the play that have just really stuck with me is it's the little things that will keep you out of heaven.
Right, right,
And
right.
so I'm trying to pay attention to the little things. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly.
And the
Especially,
boss.
especially, can I just right here,
Mm-hmm.
especially the part um, where the scripture says, that when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. When
Yes.
I was outdoors, you didn't give me a place to
Mm-hmm.
stay. All
Mm-hmm.
those things, you didn't clothe me. That and I'm every day, like when I'm passing people and just what I'm just thinking, okay, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I
Mm-hmm.
giving like I'm supposed to be giving, and things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Even with if somebody, how people shaking the bells and now all this time of year and that kind of stuff, and so it does make you, wonder if you're doing, what even like those small things, what we consider small
Right.
things. Am I
Right.
doing all of that?
And
Yeah.
And that boss, but it made me reflect on the actual power of prayer. And I agree with all three of you, the actual power of prayer and the little things that we do. We know Nadine wasn't going to let anybody just have some of her brownie. Or that,
Right.
the
No,
one that you
no,
put in your
no,
mouth. That
no, because Kenny wasn't getting
uh,
brownies or cookies. But
no, he
No.
won't get nothing. No, Kim won't get nothing. He done had all he going to get. He ain't getting no more from her. And I know that's poor English, but you understand what I'm saying. He ain't getting no
Yeah.
more from her. But you're right, Sonya. The little things in your scripture, as you were saying, the things that because what is it? When I was hungry, you fed me not, so on and so on.
hmm
But when did I do this? When you did it to the least of mine, the
Yeah.
right.
people that individuals frown on, the person sitting on that back pew. That's when you
Mhm.
did it to me. Because if I was
Mm-hmm.
in the flesh, you're not gonna do that to me. But let
Right.
me come in as one of my little ones that ain't got no title, that's this
Mhm.
and that. And then let me see how you're gonna interact with them. Nadine with that white dress on, she's church usher, she's
hmm
in charge of usher. How are you gonna interact with me then? And that is something to think about all the
Mhm.
things that we leave on the table every day that we could have done differently, but
Yes.
we didn't. And
Yeah.
it's those things that may keep us out of heaven. So,
Mhm.
excellent point, Stephen and the boss and Sonya, and then Redmond Force said, oh, okay, I'm just waving at Redmond. Now, Felicia, everybody has enjoyed this play. We've all enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. I wasn't even there. Do you have any future plans for the play, such as additional showings or adaptations? Where are we going after this? How do you envision where we're going, girl?
Well, I've had a couple people in my inbox asking us to debut it again. One of the inquiries was, would I consider doing it as a dinner theater production?
Yes.
And I
Mm-hmm.
liked that idea. And so I think that would be the next direction that I would go in with it if we were to present it again. And of course, we're going to have our post production meeting with the cast to talk about that and see what that might look like and, look at a time period. But I think that would be something that a lot of people would enjoy. I've even kind of polled it a little bit on Facebook, and it seems like it's an interest there for that. Um, I've been approached about bringing it to Macon, taking it to Macon, Georgia. But that's something that's on the table. But again, that's a lot of things that got to be talked through, because people can easily say, when you gonna do this again, or when you gonna bring this here. But I will say what I've always said: productions are expensive. It's easy to say, well, what about bringing this to Tennessee? Somebody offered, can you bring it to Tennessee? Well, Tennessee is going to be, that's travel, that's lodging, that's facility, that's all of that. So it's a lot of things that I'm going to consider. But right now, I would say immediate, one of the things I would like to look at and present to the cast is a possible dinner theater of the showing.
And I think a
Of the
dinner theater would
production.
be excellent. Now, because I've gone to plays that are put on at a dinner theater. There's a dinner theater, and they do that. That's how they do the plays. But now, I'm not in Macon. I'm not in Mississippi. I'm not in Arkansas. I'm not in Louisiana. I'm in North Carolina. How am I
You
going to
need a
see it?
DVD, don't you? I need one too.
Yeah, I need a DVD. So we got
I need a
DVD.
DVD. And that was one of the initial things on the table. But as we know, sometimes, again, you come into. I had a mentor that used to say, "It sounds good," and she would tell me that, Jonetta McSwain, it sounds good, and she
I'm
would say
good.
that because Felicia, it sounds good when they say it, but you
Yes.
got to see if they actually, follow through on it. So
Okay.
that's something I would love to do once we find the person that meant to be the one to do this, and that will follow through and get it done. I would love to offer it on DVD.
Well, from your mouth to God's
Yeah,
ears,
that's right.
um, we've got time to work on that because I think the play is phenomenal. And if you're like, how
Thank
can you
you.
say that when you didn't see it? Because I read both of the books and I've
Yeah,
talked with the cast, so I know what's happening. And to be able to see it come to life, it had
right.
to be musical, more than you can't. I don't even have the words to really put into it to say what that would have been like last weekend when it actually premiered. So we know at least we got something tentative now. Perhaps a
Yeah,
dinner theater production is coming soon
yeah.
to a city near you. So stay tuned. Um, Felicia, I'm going to want you to tell the audience how they can stay in contact with you so they know what's going to be happening. But before that, I want to know, Sonya,
Yes.
did you leave it all on the table? Is Mama Ruth? Did you leave it all on the table?
Honey, I left it all up. I'm
She
talking about,
did.
listen.
She did.
Look, no crumbs. You hear me? No
No problem.
crumbs.
And we know you didn't get none to Brownie because she don't let nobody have none to Brownie. So no crumbs at all, huh? Left it all on the table. Okay.
Left it all
Guys.
out there. I left it all. We all did. Like Stephen
Yeah,
said, we were
yeah,
so. I mean, when we finished, we knew we
yeah,
were finished because we were.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, and I want to
We could
say,
excel.
yeah,
Yeah.
we did exhale. It was a big
Mhm.
exhale. Yes, yes.
Stephen, now that you done told
Yes.
me you done played Deacon Wright, you can't see me, but I'm shaking my head, Deacon Wright.
We should have had
What
security for him, honey. Him and Brother Baller. We should have had some security
you
on
talking
file.
about? I don't. I'm not gonna say which one's the nicest one, the nicer one. You said I flipped that.
Hmm.
But I think I
Right.
interviewed both of them characters, and I'm saying that nicely, guys. They both characters. So for you to play Savannah, he's a good man. For you to
Ah,
play the good man Kenny, and then play Deacon Wright,
very bad.
Yeah.
and you know how he treats his wife, but we're not gonna go into that, guys. You got to see the play.
You
And
gotta
then
see it.
you just played God. I
Yes.
know you left it all on the table. It's amazing that you was able to walk out because those are
Got
three
that right.
distinct characters. Because I interviewed God too, so those are three distinct characters, and you played them all. You poured out your heart to the
So
audience.
so just to share some behind the scenes
Hmm.
activity after the Deacon Wright scene. So in part of the scene, I actually portray abusing my wife on stage.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when the curtains closed, emotionally, I broke. I am backstage, and it was to the point where Pat, who is my biological cousin, came
Mhm.
over to me and hugged me and was like, "It's okay, we good." And I told her, I said, "It's not that. It was just hard.
Mhm.
It was hard." And so then when we get to the suicide scene,
Yeah.
that was so intense that once they closed the curtains, everybody on stage is literally sitting on stage bawling.
Mhm. Yeah. It was
When
very
so
emotional.
for those in the audience who saw the scene, when you saw
Mhm.
tears, you saw real tears. This was not staged. This wasn't where we took eye drops and dropped them in our eyes. Like the struggle of having to deliver lines with a
Yeah.
knot in your throat because this is real. Um, I don't think, and I think this goes to everybody in the cast. I don't think we had a choice but to leave
Right.
it all on the table.
Yeah,
I don't think taking a crumb off the stage was an option.
it was.
It
It
was.
was.
I think
It,
when we committed to the degree that we committed to the role, you commit to the nth degree, and that's what we did.
Mhm.
But one of the things that we would talk about when we were doing our character development is I would always say, if specifically, and I was specifically talking about Deacon Wright. I said,
mhm.
if the audience does not hate Deacon Wright at the
Right.
end of this scene, I
Yes.
did not do the character justice.
Mhm. Yeah. And the
And I
audience
can
was
say,
interacting with him. They were talking back to him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I knew that he had done it right because they were talking to him, and it
Mhm.
wasn't nice. They don't. The women
it,
wanted the
it,
demon.
it was not
It
nice.
was.
Yeah,
It
because
was not nice.
Yeah.
he's a piece of work, guys.
Yeah.
Those who don't know, he's a piece of work.
Yeah.
Um, and I did have you answered the question that I had planned to ask him, but I didn't. So Sonia, Stephan. So
Hmm.
Sonia, were there any particularly powerful or emotional moments during the production that stayed with you as Mama Ruth?
Oh, oh, absolutely.
Mm.
Oh,
Mm.
Oh,
She scared me.
and look,
Okay.
You could feel the energy in her role. She just embodied it. Her facial expressions, her tone, the way she delivered the line. I was like, baby, I wouldn't want to be on her bad side for real, for real.
Okay.
I'm talking about
Okay.
not in real life.
Not in
Not in
real
real
life.
life.
and to be honest, it is kind of real life because look, I'm like I got a whole bunch of professions. One of them happens to be a life coach. So I mean, when I life coach my clients, I'm not soft. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
soft at all.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And I tell them from the beginning, I say, listen, if you don't want the hardcore truth, I'm that kind of life coach. If you don't want it hard, or whatever, then you need to find you another one. So it's just kind of my personality, anyway, built in. And so it was really, easy for me to do it because of that. But I do want to share this real quick. Again, like Stephan was saying, at that the attempted whatever scene, suicide scene number 8, I think it was scene 8, when we were all sitting on the floor crying. Um, I felt that one. That was so emotional because I haven't told my whole life story, but I will say that I did have a bout in my teenage years where I did attempt suicide as well. And so
Wow.
nobody ever I haven't shared that with the cast, and so
Mhm.
nobody knew
Mhm.
that. And so that scene was really, really very emotional for me in that regard,
Yeah.
because again, being a PK, everybody expects for preachers' kids to
To
be
be perfect.
perfect. And
Yes.
all of that just took a toll on me, in
Mhm.
my teenage years. And I was like, you know what, I'm tired of this. I don't want to live as the PK anymore. I want to live for Sonya. I want to do me,
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was an attempt. And so I thank God for my life on today.
Yes.
And
Yes.
so that one was really emotional for me.
Felicia, I've asked the cast, was there one scene for you? Because I know there are multiple ones, but was there one scene for you that just kind of drove it all home? That you did to see it actually come to life, that it hit you perhaps in a way that you hadn't thought that it would?
Really, to see it all come to life. To see it actually, for us not to be virtual, not to be trying to put it together in a gym,
Yeah.
but to see everybody come out on that stage and go click and actually do every scene and carry out those actions. Just watching that. And when it got to the final scene, I my mind and my heart was like, oh my God, we are about to close the curtain. It was emotional enough when it opened, but we are about to close the curtain. We did this. It happened. That for me was emotionally, it was so huge. It was so much. I will say this. Out of the whole year and a half, it took me till a week ago to cry for everything through this whole entire time. I was listening to Jesus by Shekinah Glory. And Vet, my casting director and stage manager, before we closed the curtain, she said, what song do you want to play when you come out? And I said that song. But that song for me, it just broke everything right then. And then that whole week leading up to that, we're getting closer to Friday. We're getting closer to Friday. Then we get to Friday, and I said, oh my God, everybody's still here. Everybody here. And Saturday morning, I was up Friday night. I just did not sleep good. I was ready to go Saturday. So for me, just to see it all come to life, thank you is not enough for them for all that they did to bring this to life. Everybody, even the people that wasn't there the whole year and a half, the people that came on board again and stayed. And I can't say enough about that Stephen baby because he stepped up and stepped in and did what he said. Okay,
Mhm.
He did.
Mhm.
3 times, 4 times.
Excellence. Excellence.
It was awesome.
And,
Yeah.
and for those who know the play, that was some heavy lifting that Stephen was doing, because those
Yes.
were not minor characters in this play.
Right.
They were
Right.
all heavy duty characters. So, and as you said, Felicia, everybody was there, and we were back and forth, guys, the week of. Um, so I didn't live it with you, but I lived parts of it with you because I'm like, okay, we got to get this done. We got now
Even
that.
down to the playbill, Teresa. You and I know about the playbill. I was like about to pull my hair out. I said, Lord, please let Teresa see this message. So I'm so thankful to you and Denver, to Wiz Pro. He is indeed a pro. He is
Yeah,
good at what he does, and I'm so thankful to you for that connection. I'm thankful to Cyrus that we connected. I'm telling y'all, connections and collaborations. You just never know what you're going to end up doing with a person and how they're going to help you, and their connections can help you and their gifts and talents. So to Dr. Taz and Denver, I just take my head off to y'all because that playbill is very nice. It's phenomenal. Job well done.
well, I'm waiting on my coffee now,
You
Felicia.
gonna get it. I got them on the coffee table. I just gotta slow down and mail them out.
Okay, but Felicia, you made a good point. I was not going to ask this question, but since you made a good point there, how did the process of creating this play bring the cast and crew together in a way that positively impacts your community. Because you're right, you never know how connections will then move things forward because we're just connecting with people. And guys, understand this, please, I guess I do need to say this. Oh, I see what color you got on today.
Oh,
We twinning again. Felicia's got the blonde hair. I got the glasses now, so I'm working with you. And I'm looking at my print and your
and you're
print.
a little neutral today. You're a little
Yeah.
neutral. I appreciate that.
We twinning and
Just
we never plan it. But I was looking at, we kind of twin again. But again, that
yeah,
shows you also the connection and the power of connection.
yeah.
And when I was thinking about this and developing my questions, this play for me has to connect the community because it was all about the community and the people who live in our communities. We all got Sister Nadine in our community and church. We all got
Mhm.
Brother Brawler. We got Deacon Wright. We got Amber. We got all these people in our communities, in our church. And the fact that you were willing to pull the covers back, and I was like, okay, now how did the community, what kind of impact did it have on the community? And so I know the audience loved it, but have you thought about the impact it may have had on the actual community?
I think community wise, you still have to go back to because individuals make up the community. I think that on this Sunday, there were people that probably went into the sanctuary and were more open again and transparent with themselves and honest about who they are. And they may have even looked at some people and said, I can identify from that play this person, that person, this character, that character, that character, even in this sanctuary. And what are some things that we need to be honest about and come to the table about and maybe change, and also their mindset when they look at some of these individuals and say, but I need to pray for that person. Or I realize my pastor is just also he's a man, he's human, and the enemy is
Mhm.
gonna attack him also, and also I think that they walk into the sanctuary and maybe feel too more of these are my family members, even here, and we're not perfect. We all have issues and problems, but at the end of the day, we all got to stand before God for ourselves, but we need to show more love and more compassion towards each other.
And
Brother
Felicia,
Bala said, thank you, Dr. Taz.
oh, thank you, Brother Baller. And thank you. So you like North Carolina? I like calling North Carolina home too. Glory, we made it, Brookins. That was from
His
TL.
wife, Tasha.
Oh, this is right. Okay, good to hear from you. Let's see here. The play spoke to the unspoken realm of everyday life.
Yeah.
The place, okay, everyday life. And I agree with Dr. Akima, Educator for Life. I agree.
That was our
And I
guardian angel and our
oh,
voiceover,
she's
Brother
one of the
Bala's
angels.
girlfriend.
Well, okay. She's the angel, and she say his girlfriend. Okay. We're gonna go with that angel part. But on a serious note, I agree. It is everyday life. And I think the message for the community and the church, if we could sum it up, would be what you said, Felicia. We're all human beings. And every walk that we make, we need to look at other people as human also,
Yeah.
instead of looking at them instead of maybe putting myself up here and them down here. Let's look at everybody on the same level because we don't know the circumstances. And regardless of what their circumstances are or my circumstances are, it's still a trial. And it
Yeah.
takes the same thing out of me that it takes out of someone else. So why not reach out my hand, bring my brother and sister forward instead of looking at them, looking down on them?
Yeah.
And, individuals make up community. So
Yes.
the message of the play, I believe, will continue to spread throughout the community and the demand for it is going to increase because those who missed it, you missed something good. I'm just telling you. Um, so Felicia, First of all, let me say this to your remarkable cast. I have enjoyed getting to know all of you, all of you, all of you, all of you. Those who started out with the play, those who finished up that I didn't meet until tonight, Stephen. I've enjoyed getting to know all of you. I know people now in Mississippi besides Cyrus. I know other people, so that I'm down there and I need help. Y'all help Dr. Taz out now. But you guys have been remarkable. It's the best cast. And when God puts it together, all you can do is say, well done, because it
Yes.
was exceptionally well put together. I've been looking still at the pictures and the comments. It couldn't have been any better. So
Yeah.
thank you guys for those who were on with me. And Felicia, thank you so much for being on my show. I really, really do appreciate it. And so Felicia, you will have the final word. Um, can you tell the audience where they can stay in touch with you to find out more information about the Brownie and Unforgettable Trip? Because we know somewhere in the distant near future, there is going to be another showing, and it's going to possibly be a theater atmosphere. So how can they stay in touch?
Okay, well, on Instagram, it's the Ways Trilogy page, or they can do the Brownie. Those are the Instagram pages. On Facebook, we have a info page at the Brownie and Unforgettable Trip. And I would like to also add, you were using words of, hey, in the future, in the community, I would offer to you that you and I have a conversation as whether or not it is possible for us to bring it to North Carolina. And it may take a couple of months to put that together, but let's just put that on the table and see. And then we'll see cast-wide who is all in and what we need to do to make that happen, Dr. Taz. How about that?
Oh, my hand is out here. We'll see what we can do. Because I know it's great. And I think the folks in
Thank
North
you.
Carolina would absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you
Well,
so much
guys,
for this platform, giving this
well,
platform to us.
well, thank you. And thank you, Felicia. Guys, I can take privilege. I'm in church, let me have a personal privilege here. I was bouncing back when I saw Felicia's post. I was off social media for 4 months. And I saw her post, and she said, I'm looking for somebody to help me promote my play. And I put my name down, or I reached out to her, how I did it. And then she contacted me. I had no idea she was going to contact me. I was just beginning to come back from being out of work sick for 4 months, but it blessed me. I think it was exactly what I needed to make me reflect about life and learning about the different characters as I would interview the folks and in their personal life, their real life, and I say personal life, their real
Mhm.
lives. I think it was what I needed at that time. And so I thank you, Felicia, because it was what I needed. I didn't know it, but this was exactly what I needed. And I appreciate you being so trusting that I would take your baby and massage it and love it as much as you do. And you can't ask for anything more than that. So I appreciate you for allowing me this opportunity. And Sonya and Stephen, thank you guys so much for being with me today. And so,
Thank
guys, we're going to
you.
stay tuned because the Brownie An Unforgettable Trip is going to be somewhere around the globe. You see how to move that? We're going to be around the globe with the Brownie
Okay.
An Unforgettable Trip because I think that it's needed. So if you have ways to bring this wonderful production to your city, to your state, please reach out to Felicia. If you can't remember
Mhm.
Felicia, reach out to me and I'll make sure we all get connected because it is a wonderful, wonderful stage production. And again, thank you guys for being with me on Talk with TAS Live. And everyone, remember, before you take care of someone else, make sure you take care of yourself first. Bye now.
Bye.
Thank
It was an
you.
honor. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye bye.
you.
Thank you, guys.